Hey guys, welcome to a new video. It's a little late, it's 9:30 p.m., but I figured I'd make this video for you guys because I do want to show you how I level up and increase my sales with GPT. And actually, ever since I've been starting to use GPT on very specific designs, I've been getting better results in terms of my consistent sales for newer designs. Before, a design could come in and it might take a few weeks to a few days to get a sale, sometimes even a few months, and sometimes designs might not even get sales. But I've noticed ever since I've been using this GPT strategy, I've been getting more and more sales consistently. So if the design would normally get, a month or two to get a sale, all of a sudden now it's getting 3-4 weeks to get a sale. If a sale normally gets a few weeks to get a sale, it could happen in a few days. And there are two reasons for this. As you guys know, with Teepublic and really for every other platform on planet Earth, there's two things that really matter to the customer. The first thing is they have to find the design, and the second thing is they have to like the design, or it basically has to catch their attention, right, in order for them to purchase it. So how do I do this? I break this down, all right? You guys know that I've been using the Teepublic tagging tool for a long time, and that's actually helped me drastically and my virtual assistants to get certain tags that matter. And from that side, that's the angle of getting your design seen, right? Getting them seen by all the different customers, right? That's getting indexed, getting ranked, and being in the race per se, right? But how do you go from being spot 7 to spot 5 or being in the 7th page to getting to the 2nd page, right? Somebody has to notice you. Now, let me say something. First of all, there's two aspects to every single design. Like I said, you have the actual design and then you have the actual tags, right? The tags are going to index you. They're going to be the things that allow you to enter the race. And with Teepublic, let's just say I use 10 different tags. Effectively, I'm in 10 different races. But the way I want you to think of it, I want you to think of my design as a racehorse, okay? And I'm using this racehorse simultaneously racing in 10 different races, okay? I'm just using this as an example for the 10 different tags, okay? And here I have, let's just say this list of tags. I'll go ahead and copy it for the sake of this video inside this notepad. And I have here this design that I created. Now, I want to be clear with this design. This is where GPT comes in, okay? In the beginning, I never had this design. In the beginning, I just had a picture of this Yeti, which to me looks like a polar gorilla, basically. But I had this picture of what we call a Yeti, okay? Some people call it a Chewbacca. Some people will call it a Bigfoot, a snow version of the Bigfoot. A Yeti. Let's just call it a Yeti, okay? And all I had was the picture, okay? That's all I had. And you guys could do the same thing with AI tools. You're using the unlimited generator tool. There's so many different things you could do this with. But everybody at the end of the day has their graphic, but they don't know what to add to it or how to make it a little bit better. Now, I'll say this. Can the graphic sell by itself with no text? Absolutely. It absolutely can. Me personally, with the experience that I have, uploading over 50,000 designs manually, not just Teepublic, we're talking Redbubble, and Teepublic is not fully 50,000, but Redbubble, I have uploaded more than 50,000 designs. Society6, between me and my virtual assistants, we have over 35,000 designs on there. Teepublic, I have thousands upon thousands. I don't even know what the count is. But the point here is that what I have found is that text can give more, I guess you could say, precedence to a design. Sometimes it makes more sense, and I realize that a lot of the designs that sell that happen to be graphic type t-shirts like this sell better with text. That's just my personal opinion. Some of you guys might have designs that sell amazing without text, and I agree, they do sell, but I'm saying text can help. So what I do is I'm using GPT to give me insight on what I actually can write. And what I found was that if I ask it for a play on words, it can actually work for me in my benefit, and I'll explain, okay? So it's a picture of a Yeti, all right? I look at all the different Yeti designs here, and I say, you know what? My graphic, just the graphic alone, looks better than I would say 80% of the designs here, right? So this graphic right here, right? This graphic, not the text, just the graphic of the picture. Would you think, and I'm asking you guys, between me and you, do you think it's better than this design or this design? or this design, or this design, right? Or this design, or this design, or this design, or this design. You know, I'm saying 80% of the time, it's better than all the other competitors. And I would say yes. In my case, I would say yes. Now, of course, things come down to personal preference, but the reality is, most of reality is completely objective. If we lined up 100 people, we can look through every single person's face and be able to see if they're attractive or not, and be accurate 80% of the time amongst 80% of the population's opinions, right? So I can look at a design, for example, like this, and to me, I'm just going to be 100% honest, like this yellow one, to me it's unattractive. I don't see how anybody could buy it, ever. Maybe there are very few people that would buy it, but I can, with a sound mind, say most people are not going to buy this. That's just my opinion. So when I look at my graphic, I say, okay, is this graphic giving me the highest chance to make a sale? And based on its design compared to the competitors, I'm going to say yes. That's the first thing. The second thing is, now, how do I enhance the design? I want to add some text to it. I want it to be a play on words. And if you look at the actual design, it says Yeti or not, here I come, which is a play on words for ready or not, here I come, right? So it works from a play on words standpoint, but I didn't come up with this. I let the AI do that part for me. And this is the thing that I'm telling you guys to use the AI for. So if you have a graphic, you can tell the AI to create play on words for you that happen to be searched on Google, okay? So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to say, hello, can you please help me? I have a graphic of a Yeti that I want to place on a t-shirt. It's a cartoon style graphic, but I want to add text to the shirt. Can you provide me with a list of play on words sayings that will combine well with the Yeti graphic that I have? Also, make sure that these sayings could potentially help me from a searchability standpoint. Now, you can, if you guys don't care about the SEO, which I always recommend that you do care about the SEO, because 70%, 70 to 80% really, depending on the store, of my organic traffic comes from search engine optimization, whether it be from the platform search, right, through here, or from the design, from the title search, from Google, meaning. And I've noticed that more through Redbubble, and Teepublic is very similar to Redbubble, so I'm going to say it's about the same. Obviously, back when we were connecting our accounts to Google Analytics with Redbubble, we can measure those kind of things. Unfortunately, right now, Teepublic doesn't have that necessarily. So what we're doing here is I'm going to hit search here. And by the way, I have 3 plugins open so that GPT can use them. But I'll say this, you don't need to have the plugins. The plugins are just a bonus, okay? So if you look here, I have 3 plugins, and I'll share what those plugins are with you. The first one is WebPilot. The second one is VoxScript, okay? And the third one is Access Link. If it just so happen need to use it, it will use it. But look here, it never used any plugin. If you see here, there's no little like box that shows a plugin usage, and it gave me 10 different searches. Now, I can use this to my advantage, and I'll explain, okay? I have a graphic, okay? I have a design, and I can figure out what parts of these sayings I can use. So here, it says, Yeti or not, here I come. I didn't come up with this. The AI came up with it for me, okay? Here's another one. It says Yeti to party. So if I have another picture of a Yeti, right, which I can put this in an AI and construct a picture of a Yeti that's like partying, right? I could put a party hat on him. I could put, whatever the case may be in terms of the drawing. And I could say, I could add Yeti to party, chill out, I'm Yeti, something like that. Or Yeti, set, go, right? For ready, set, go. And I can attribute that to the design. I might have to add some extra graphics, but it works. Now, once I create a banger of a design, I have to make sure I have the equal component of the tags. And this is where so many people kind of fail, is that they're maxing out one side of the equation, but they're not hitting the other. And I'll explain what I mean. Back when I used to teach Redbubble success, specifically with tagging and titling, I would be very clear to me. It would be very clear to me with clients that, ask for help or anything like that. They would say, hey, please review my store. And immediately when I review their store, I would see either they have an issue with the design or with the tags. Now, GPT helps us from a design standpoint because it gives us certain things that we don't have to necessarily think about or be creative for. And I want to give you a few more examples. So I created this design here that says, don't be salty, right? And it's kind of like a box of French fries with like the box is like in Zen mode. You could see his little hands. It looks like he's meditating in a way. And he's happy, right? And it says, don't be salty. It's kind of like a play on words because French fries are salted normally, right? Another one here. This is a moonshot, but this is not fully a play on words as of yet. This one, cash cow. Not a play on words, but the text matches the graphic and it amplifies the design. If I didn't have the graphic and I just had the text, it would be just like any other normal design. If I just had the image and I didn't have the text, it would be, once again, like any other normal design. And normal designs do sell, but they might not sell as much as a top-tier design. And this is what I said before, and I've said this so many times. I've even said this in my courses, guys. I've said very clearly, right, if you're going to create a design to sell, all you need to do is make sure it's a buyable design. Right? You have to do the bare minimum to make it buyable. If I use just the text, it's a buyable design. If I use just the image, it's a buyable design. But if I use both in combination, I'm trying to go above and beyond, right? This is another example. You crack me up, right? So this is an egg that's cracked that says you crack me up. It's a play on words. Here, riding the wave. This is not a wave, it's pizza. And it's a pepperoni riding the pizza slice. But it's a play on words. Same thing here, like Jurassic Peace. Instead of Jurassic Park, Jurassic Peace. Now, these are not knock out of the park type designs. They're not, home run designs. In fact, if I were to rank these designs out of 10, I would give them a 6 out of 10. Okay, I would give them a 6 out of 10. This one says, I do not care, do not care, do not care. You get what I'm trying to say? This says Om charging up. You guys know how like the yogis, they say Om, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, like I'm charging up, Om charging up, and this looks like a battery, but like the yoga version. All these things can be done, right? And it's not good enough to just have a design that's good looking, right? So all these designs, I could say, are buyable because they pass that threshold of being like a 4 to 5 out of 10. They pass it, in my opinion, right? Here's this one. This one says iced tea, right? Which is like a coffee mug or a cup of a mug with like the little tea thing. And then this one says iced coffee, which is literally the exact same thing. The only difference is that little play on words. So what I'm trying to say here is we maxed out one part of the design, which is the look. Okay, the play on words, the graphic, all that combination comes together. That's the look. The other side of that is the tags. So how do I make sure the tags work? So what I'm doing here is I'm searching for the main keyword of the design. So in my case, with this one right here, the main keyword of this design for me is going to be Yeti. Okay, so Yeti. So I'm searching Yeti, and I'm going to go over here to my Teepublic tag tool, and I'm going to hit Optimize Finder, okay? And what this is going to do is it's going to go through all the results, okay? It's going to go through page 1 to page 50, okay? And it's going to look for the very best tags that relate to Yeti, and there we go, boom. We get a bunch of tags. Now, these tags are the same as what I just pasted in the notes earlier into this video. And I can look at these tags, and I can create buckets, okay? The bucket system is a system that I created many months ago, many moons ago, where I've told you guys what you need to do is you need to find related keywords, and once you find those related keywords, you use them, right, by adding these buckets and finding the tags that fit under them. So let's just say, for the sake of this video, let's just say like I'm not going to say that I want this to be for real, but I'm just saying, let's just say for the video, I'm going to use the word Bigfoot as a tag. Let's just assume that. Well, if I'm going to use the word Bigfoot as a tag, and Bigfoot, we already know Bigfoot is related to Yeti because it shows up in this list, then I'm going to create a Bigfoot bucket. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to go to Bigfoot. Now, the semantics don't matter for the sake of this video. I'm not sitting here and trying to convince you that a Yeti is a Bigfoot and a Bigfoot is a Yeti. That's not the point of this video. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teach you the strategy. So what I'm going to do is I found the Bigfoot keyword. I'm going to hit Optimize Finder, and I'm going to find other keywords that might be related. Now, to be honest, between me and you, for this very specific design here, the Yeti design, I don't know 100% if I would use the keyword Bigfoot because they have their own separate audiences and separate needs. The Yeti doesn't necessarily relate to the Bigfoot audience. I think a lot of the Bigfoot audience is like the skeptics. They want to find Bigfoot. They're like, they want to find certain things like Bigfoot hunter, Bigfoot believer, humanoid, like certain things like that. I don't know if I would necessarily want to use those tags because I think the people who are searching for keywords like this on Teepublic are not necessarily going to buy my Yeti design because my Yeti design is comedic. So what my point here is that you need to find tags out of this one group that come down to create buckets, right? So if I really look through this group, it says Yeti, Bigfoot, children's, cryptozoology, cute, humor, ice cream. So cute is technically a word that I could use, but I would really want to expand on it because it would be a little bit more competitive than I would want. But there's so many different here. So we have abominable snow monster. That's a keyword I could potentially use. Now, in terms of search volume, I can almost bet that abominable snow monster has much less search volume than Yeti. So I would want to come up with a keyword and these lists. Now, you might say, well, why would you create all these keywords and all these lists for this one design? And that's the point here, guys, is that doing all this research allows me to become more successful than the competition. I will make sales on this, okay? This design will generate me sales. I repeat, it will generate me sales. I've been doing this for a long time, and when I say a long time, it's not been like 20 years or something. I've been doing this for an amount of hours that most people, I'm just going to be honest, haven't clocked in, and I can most of the time tell if something is going to sell before it sells. Not all the time, maybe like 50-60% of the time. And for me, that's a pretty good, accurate predictor. And when I look at a design, I could tell most likely if it's not going to sell or if it's going to sell. And when I look at this, I say, okay, this is going to sell. If I create another 20 to 50 designs in the Yeti niche, right? It doesn't have to have the same text. In the Yeti niche, I'm now maxing out all the research that I had to do for the keyword Yeti. And I'm doing the research with the Teepublic tool. I'm doing the research with the GPT. I'm doing all these things and I'm combining it. I'm getting the right graphics. I can use an AI tool to create for me some awesome graphics, right, of different Yetis and different circumstances, different scenarios, right? And I can utilize them for this. So I'm getting my money's worth and my time's worth out of searching all these different keywords and creating different buckets. And the reason why I recommend you put them in a notes app is so that you can always come back to them. Teepublic is one of those websites that there's not as much competition on Redbubble, right? Not nearly as much. Okay, there is competition, but not nearly as much. And it's more profitable dollar for dollar on Teepublic than it is on Redbubble. Now, Redbubble, you can have higher profit margins. Teepublic has less profit margins, but still, I can still make more because there's less competition. And so if there's less competition, that means I have a higher chance to own more probability on the platform, but also I can create better designs than the competitors. And if I can create better designs and I can control being seen, then I control the game. And that's kind of the whole point here. So the best way to utilize GPT right now, currently, for creating designs with Teepublic is when you have a graphic, advance the graphic, make the graphic better, make the design better, and that's not going to work in all circumstances, but sometimes it can, for example, like this, okay? And once you do that, then what you're doing is you're leveling up the design, and with the power of the tags, then you're going to be leveling up your tag strategy, and then that's going to create a better design overall because it's going to be seen by more people. And I've said this before, but if you create the best design, and I've said this in the course, the Redbubble tag course, if you create the very best design, but nobody sees it, then it has no value, because it's not going to make you any money. Nobody's going to purchase it. And speaking of courses, if you guys want, I do have a Teepublic course that goes a lot more in depth with Teepublic. Getting accepted into the marketplace, the things that you have to do on the platform, keyword relevancy, all these things. I'll leave a link in the description to the course if you happen to want to check it out specifically for the Teepublic course. All right, guys? But hopefully this video helped you, informed you, and if you have any questions on this strategy, let me know. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.